Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Diamondtron01 again. Today, I figured I would tell you a few stories about my life that involve the eerie side of my life. So things are going to get kind of strange. One story involves me, my father, my mother, and my father's wife at the time, because my mother and father never married. He married someone else, but has since moved on. Um, Me, my mother, my father, and his wife at the time were coming home in his truck, and we're coming down a road, and it's kind of cloudy, and it's at night, and I look up into the sky, and I see these two lights kind of circling each other. And I'm kind of thinking, what's this and everything, and I'm a kid, so I could assume it's anything. And they're kind of chasing each other. And it almost seemed like a symmetrical pattern, so it's possible it was probably searchlights, but as a kid, I thought it was aliens. Yeah, and I've seen those lights, and at the time, I thought it was, a UFO or something, but, it makes me think, what if it really was, Another time was for my brother. Now, he told me this the following morning, and this is where we used to live. We had a bunk bed, and he was the top bunk, I was the bottom bunk, or something like that. I can't remember exactly. So we're in the same room. I'm asleep. He's faintly asleep. And he says he saw something in the hallway. He wakes up the following morning, and we're getting something to eat. And he asked my mom, he says, "Were you in the hallway last night?" And she's like, "No, why? I was in my room." And he says, "I saw a shadow in the hallway, and I thought it was you. So you weren't up?" And she says, "No, I wasn't." She said, "Did you hear anything? Was there anybody in the house or anything?" He says, "No, there was no sound. He just saw a shadow just standing right there in the hallway, and, that's that." Let's see. Another story. I remember back in elementary school, I was at recess, and I was a kind of quiet kid. I had to take, like, Ritalin, Adderall, that kind of stuff, but I usually just stuck to myself. I didn't have many friends. So we're outside at recess, and I'm standing over by these trees, and if the school is still there, I could actually go to the exact spot where it happened. But now it's possible that people were probably playing with me and just trying to mess with me, and because I wasn't really paying much attention. So I was just standing there minding my own business, kind of just sitting quiet, resting up and everything, and I don't know where, I just kind of felt myself get up, and I walked off. And next thing you know, I heard a bonk. I turned around, and a frisbee had landed right where I was sitting. And I heard something like, I thought I heard some kid ask if I could throw it back, and I turned around and tossed it back to him. And I'm walking away, and I walk a farther distance away and everything. And a few minutes pass and everything. The kids are playing off in the distance. Every other kid is doing their thing on the jungle gyms and all that kind of stuff. And I decided something just got me up. I walk off. Next thing you know, plonk. I turn around, and another frisbee, had landed where I was. And I thought nothing of it and everything like that, and I tossed the frisbee back. But the thing is, I wasn't really paying attention to anybody around me, so it could have been someone just aiming at me, just trying to hit me or anything like that. But to me, that was just a random thing that out of nowhere I just felt myself get up and walk off. So maybe it was just coincidence, it was just something that happened. But that's just a moment in my life that I thought was kind of eerie. Another story involves my mom. Now, we used to live on my father's property, and her kids, me, my brothers, were at school, and she was at home, and this is what she told from her point of view. She was at home, hanging out the clothes on the clothesline and everything like that, and she said she swore she heard someone say, "Mildred." She's like, "What is it?" She waited, and she said she didn't hear anybody. So she went back to hanging up her clothes. Figured it was just, someone else on the other side of the area, because it was out in the country. She says she heard, "Mildred." And she's like, "What the hell is it?" She didn't hear anything, so she turned around and went around to the front of the house to see if someone was waiting out front, near the driveway and everything. She gets around the corner of the house and looks around front. She doesn't see anything there. And then all of a sudden, she said she heard this loud cracking and then a loud bang. And it hit the ground. Scared the living caca out of her. So she turns around and looks back around the edge of the house, and she sees that there, where she was standing, under the clothesline, a rotten part of the tree had fallen like really, really high up, because it was a high canopy for trees, and it had fell right where she was standing to the spot. And she swears that it was most likely God calling to her to get her away from that, because she was our mom and everything, and we were a really good Christian going family and everything, and we do believe that things like this do happen, so we basically thought it was a miracle that somehow, somewhere, she heard a voice calling out to her, and yet there was no one there, and luckily she was safe. So yeah, those are a few spooky moments in my life and through my family's life that I can recall. I do remember a story from my father, and it's not much really spooky, but it's a exciting moment. My father used to own an old mail truck that he called the Red, White, and Blue. Now, some people would call it politically incorrect, but it had the rebel flag painted on the side, and it was really, really special to him. And he used to travel in it. Next thing you know, he's going up this mountain in like Oklahoma or somewhere. Anyway, it was a massive mountain and everything. And he's going around the mountains and everything like that, and it starts to rain. His windshield wipers go out, and the weather's getting bad. And he gets out of the vehicle, ties rope to the actual windshield wipers, feeds it through the window, and he's driving in a storm up and around the mountain with one hand on the steering wheel and one hand on the string, pulling back and forth to keep the windshield wipers working, just to get past the storm, just to get around the mountain. And to this day, I never get tired of hearing that story. It's a short one, but that's the summed up version. So yeah, thank you for watching and listening to my story. So if you like it, like, comment, subscribe, share, and next time I'll tell you a couple more things about my life. So yeah, thank you.